नमस्कार. प्रुडंटाच्या या खासा कार्यावळीन तुमकां सगळ्यांक येवकार. फाटले काही दीस आमी ह्या खासा कार्यावळीच्या माध्यमांतल्यान तुमकां पणजेन सुरू आशिल्ल्या सेरेंडिपिटी आर्ट्स फेस्टिवलाच्यो ग्लिम्पसीस तुमच्या मुखार दवरता. पण आयची ही खासा कार्यावळ काहीशी वेगळी आसा. हे सेरेंडिपिटी आर्ट्स फेस्टिवल डिझायन करपी जे क्युरेटर्स आसा तांच्या कडेन आमकां उलोवपाची संद मेळ्ळी. सो अनेक क्युरेटर्स आसा ज्यांनी हे सेरेंडिपिटी आर्ट्स फेस्टिवल डिझायन करपाक आपलें योगदान दिलां. त्या भितरले क्युरेटर्स काही सांगपाचे म्हळ्यार बिक्रम घोष, एडिबल इश्यूज, गीता चंद्रन, जयाचंद्रन पलाझी, क्रिस्टीन मायकल, प्रीती आत्रेया, कासर ठाकोर पदमसी, सलील चतुर्वेदी, संदीप संग्रू, संकर व्यंकटेश्वरन, ठुकराल एंड टागरा, विरांगना सोलंकी, जुबिन बालापोरिया. सो हे जे क्युरेटर्स आसा सगळेच क्युरेटरां कडेन आमकां उलोवपाक मेळूंक ना, पण काही जे मेन क्युरेटर्स आसा तांच्या कडेन उलोवपाची संद आमकां मेळ्ळी. सो ह्या सेरेंडिपिटी आर्ट्स फेस्टिवला विशीं तांचे कितें विचार आसात, तांचो कितें अणभव आशिल्लो, एकूणच सगळें आमी जाणून घेवपाचो यत्न केला. सो पळोवयात. हॅलो सर, वेलकम टू प्रुडंट.
Hello, thank you for having me here.
Sir, so you are in Goa. How Goa is treating you?
Well, it's one of my favorite places always, of course, to come. I'm from Mumbai, and since college days, of course, we have been coming to Goa to relax, enjoy the beach, the food, the culture. So it is very special that the festival happens every year in Goa because I don't think there's any better place to hold a festival like this.
For Serendipity Arts Festival, you are here. So, first of all, what you would like to say about this festival?
See, there are a lot of things about this festival which are very close to my heart. Firstly, the fact that the festival puts a strong weight and emphasis on promoting art and culture, but also not just with established big artists. It is also a platform for a younger generation to play. So, for example, as part of my curation yesterday, I brought a student band from the True School of Music, where I used to teach. And Serendipity were very happy to have them here because this is the ideal kind of platform that they provide for the band. Now, this kind of band will never get a stage like this, lighting. They have sent me messages today. We were so excited, so we were playing so much lights, beautiful lights, sound, the audience was great. So, this is very encouraging. Another aspect was another part of my curation was to bring the Happy Home and School for the Blind choir here to Goa. Again, I think this ties up very closely with what is the ethos of Serendipity. So it's when they say it's not just a festival, it's true. It's not just a festival. It is a festival with a lot of added attraction, bonus, and a platform for people to perform and show their art.
You have participated in this festival before?
Yes, so I think in 2016 or 17, I'm not sure, I played here as a performer. And then in 2023, they asked me to be a special projects curator. That means I curated 3 shows over here. One was with my band Industry, one was with my very good friend Ranjit Parot, who is of course a world-known drummer. And the one that was most special to me was with Zakir Hussain, who unfortunately passed away. And it was a very emotional moment for me because on 15th December we were playing here at Nagali Hills exactly 1 year to the date. I was on the same stage with Zakir Bhai sitting there, so it was an emotional moment for me. This year they have asked me to be a joint curator for the entire music side of things. So along with Bikram Ghosh, I am the joint curator for the entire musical side of things for Serendipity 2024.
So if I ask you to club your experience from past and from this year, so what you would like to say about your experience?
So last year, as I said, I was a special projects curator. That means basically I suggested 3 projects which were okayed and sanctioned, and I curated and played only those 3 projects. I had nothing to do with the rest of the music side. This year the responsibility is greater because not only am I playing and curating 4 concerts, but there are another 4 or 5 concerts which are under my curation. Of course, I'm not playing those concerts, but the responsibility is still upon me to make sure that everything goes well and that the artists perform to the best of their ability, which of course they do, and that the platform given to them is the correct one.
And last but not the least, what are you looking forward to?
So I think now I'm looking forward to taking a break because it has been really hectic and tiring. But it's like when you are having a lot of fun doing something, you don't want it to stop, and you want more and more of the same. But at the same time, you're thinking, my God, how much am I taking on? So I must confess that this year it has been very hectic. But the concerts I've done so far have been really, really fantastic. The first one on the 15th, which is called One World, a lot of hard work and rehearsals went into that and went off very well. 2 nights ago, we did some Sempre Fado, which is the Fado concert, also went off spectacularly. And tomorrow we are doing Tumli in the Chamber, which I am also very much looking forward to.
In the view of Serendipity Arts Festival, what message you would like to give who are visiting to this festival?
See, I think it's very rare. I don't know any festival in the world that will give the audience an opportunity to see such a diverse festival of music, art, culture, theatre, workshops, so much more, and almost totally free. To the point where my cousin, who has come all the way from Australia, she came for the festival. And she was just in shock. She said, where in the world can you go and watch concerts like this totally free? So it's a fantastic give back to the arts. And I think sometimes in this mad world of commerce and, making money, and we forget this other side of things, that this must continue. The art side must continue. It's all very well we build malls and flyovers, and, that's important. Infrastructure is important. But at the end of the day, if education, art and culture is neglected, you will have a society which is just completely devoid of any emotion. Your emotional response, your responsibility comes from absorbing art and culture in any ways. And what Serendipity provides on that front, I think is just absolutely unmatched.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
So you are here at Serendipity Arts Festival. So now, so far, how is your experience?
Well, I've been curating the music for Serendipity Arts Festival for 3 years now. This is the third year. And it's, of course, goes without saying that it's an incredible experience. And I think Serendipity is now one of Asia's, or in fact the world's, one of the best festivals in the world. And it is really special because of 2 particular reasons. One is that it's an inclusive festival, and B, that it's an interdisciplinary festival. So that really differentiates it from many other festivals in the world. In my experience, the curation I've been doing has been really exciting. Many thoughts that were sitting in my head for years popped out onto the Serendipity stage. And it's wonderful to see them taking shape, taking form. And people have really responded positively to whatever work I've done. So it has been a wonderful experience. Has given me a lot of fodder to think for coming years in general, in terms of show presentations, show conceptions. And yes, this year is very special. This is my 3rd year. And some of the shows are very big shows. Like we did Lakshmikant Pyarelal Tribute and Beyond yesterday, and that was a tremendous response from the audience, and overflowing with people, and they were singing and dancing along. So it was wonderful to see that. And we had some very, very different kind of presentation also. I combined some of the songs like Ek Hasina Thi with Tani Avartanam, which is a drum jam. I added a mridangam, an electric veena. So that kind of very avant-garde kind of thinking, and that is always a risk, but happily it worked. People loved it. So then there's my own show tomorrow, which is Glorious India, and with some of the best artists of India. I mean, cream of Indian artists, really, is how I would say it. So that's why it's called Glorious India. And that is at 8 p.m. tomorrow at Nagali Grounds. And then upcoming is the Gianni Denito and Ishita Chakravarti show, which is Gianni is a brilliant saxophone player from Italy, and Ishita is a fantastic singer. They are in combination. Then there is the Shame Ghazal, which is Pratibha Singh Baghel and Prithvi, and they too are brilliant singers. And so we're bringing Ghazal to the stage of Serendipity now. And then there's the final show of the Three Divas, which is a flagship show really. Getting for me to get Shubha Mudgal, Usha Uthup and Aruna Sairam on the same stage was a coup of sorts. And we did it in Ludhiana, in Sunil Munjalji's home city, and he loved it. And he's the vision behind Serendipity. So we're looking forward to the finale, which is Three Divas on the 22nd, and then the festival ends this year.
As an artist, what are your views on this Serendipity Arts Festival? It's been 9th edition this year. So,
Well, it's been fantastic because every which way you look at it, be it music, be it theatre, be it dance, be it food, everything is under the painting, sculpture, under the kind of aegis of Serendipity. So I think it's, as I said, it's such so much variety here, you know, which I think is giving a lot of artists opportunity to put their ideas out there, their work out there, and Serendipity is allowing them to grow in imagination and in stature, because performing on the Serendipity stage now is a big thing. For a lot of artists, they are looking for that opportunity, and I think getting that opportunity, because they have so many opportunities every year, is a wonderful thing that Serendipity is doing.
hello, sir. Welcome to Goa.
Hello, really nice to be here.
So, what does participating in Serendipity Arts Festival mean to you?
Today, the world is at a cusp, and many different disciplines and expressions are coming together, creating hybrid forms, and these transdisciplinary expressions are becoming so important because our experience in this world is now going through tremendous changes because of the emergence of new technologies, but also in terms of the kind of changes happening in people's private life and the community lives as well, and migration and displacement, all, and climate emergency, most important. These things are actually propelling new kinds of expression and new modes of expression, and I think Serendipity gives that opportunity, that context for artists to envision new forms, because there are people from different parts of the world, from engaged in different ways of expression, and that artistic mediation, when you encounter, it triggers new thoughts, new imagination in you, and that's why a confluence of artists at Serendipity Festival is so important, and I value it very much.
Are there any specific themes or pieces you are going to present at this festival?
My kind of tagline this year is actually Folios of Time, and that title was given particularly for the emerging choreographers. We had 6 emerging choreographers who were selected from across India out of 87 applications, and they were mentored by this very acclaimed Italian dramaturg and director Alessandra Paoletti, and also choreographer Damiano Biggi, and further embellished by the input of digital artist Kunihiko Matsuo and also the light designer Shimon Cellar. And my role was as actually a kind of oversee how that process in the residency will develop into performances. So that was the idea, the how to present our time. And one other work these two artists created from Italy, called That's All Folks, was visually so fantastic. It opened the festival, and I felt that create a benchmark for the festival in itself, because the theme I'm saying is like, for example, myth, memory, experience, and imagination. These are different articulations of time, but coming from the same source. and I am trying to do different iteration of this. Folios of Time was by emerging choreographers, whereas this That's All Folk by this Italian artist was creating, thinking about time, but looking on a galactic space, in terms of our galaxy and our existence and all of that. Then we have something called Sonnet of Samsara, which is commissioned piece, and that talks about how we look at today's world when we are facing with this environmental crisis from the perspective of myth. Like, for example, people like Joseph Campbell says, or in Greek tragedy, how the transformation of individual, particularly hero, heroine, which each one of us are a hero and heroine, how our life is transformed when we are faced with the huge challenges, how when we surmount that challenge, that transforms us. And it's that knowledge which we need to live in tomorrow's world, because the world is changing. So that Sonnet of Samsara is a promenade, site-specific, transdisciplinary kind of a piece, where martial art, dance, live percussion from Sanskrit theatre, Kudiyatam, but also folk traditions in Tamil Nadu, and contemporary dance, Kalaripayattu martial art, and also electroacoustic music score by M.D. Pallavi. So it is a very eclectic, multidisciplinary expression, and I think which will animate the space, the festival space. Then we have another 3 choreographers, 2 from India, 1 from Korea, called Allegories of Anatomy. Again, body is the final frontier today. When you look at the world, you can see most of our spaces have been taken by media or commercial interest or other things. And our own body is our final frontier if we are perceptive enough, if we are sensitive enough, if we are attentive enough. Then that expression will capture the pulse of our time. So that's why I have come up with this idea, Folios of Time, and the somatic expression in this time.
You showcase your work on national and international platform, but how this Serendipity Arts Festival platform is different from that?
Yeah, many platforms are creating already existing works only. Serendipity, for example, is a good departure from that. It's not only buying the existing work to showcase, but it's also creating new works. Like, for example, Sonnet of Samsara is a created work, and Folios of Time by the 6 emerging choreographers are a new work created for the festival. So I feel this is the way to go to stimulate more interesting work from Indian artists, but also giving them the opportunity to encounter with the acclaimed international artists, and then savor that experience and maybe triggering or catalyzing something new to emerge.
I would like to ask you further that what is that one thing that brings you this year at Serendipity Arts Festival?
When Smriti wrote to me, the director of the festival, asking whether I would curate, I gladly accepted that because I think it also gives you an opportunity to play that role in catalyzing and triggering new works in the area of movement arts and somatic expressions. And I think that was the primary reason, even though I have I have presented in the first festival itself, in the opening festival, a performance that I choreographed. So here my role is primarily, even though I'm kind of helping to create things, my primarily is to help others to come forward and then curate new ideas, new visions, and maybe triggering even newer ideas in the future.
आम्ही असं कला अकादमी हांगासर आनी आमी जाणा की सध्या सेरेंडिपिटी आर्ट्स फेस्टिवल गोंयांत चालू आसा आनी त्या निमतान एक थिएटर हे एक डिसिप्लीन आसा आनी त्या डिसिप्लिनाचे सध्या आमच्या वांगडा क्युरेटर आसा. सर, वेलकम टू आर शो.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So, how you are feeling at Goa?
Fantastic. It's a amazing atmosphere here in Goa in this month in December, nearing Christmas, very festive. Like people are out. There is art everywhere. There is people everywhere. There is gatherings, social gatherings. It's so beautiful. It's very vibrant, energetic, warm, nice.
So talking about your theater, it's very performing. So, what message do you want to give to the audience to visit this festival, your theater, and experience the performance?
So the theatre curation has been done by me in collaboration with Kwasa Thakur Padamsi. So there are two curators. We have co-curated the festival. So what we wanted to bring to Goa was a cross-section of the theatre practices that happens across the country. So we have work from Manipur, Kerala, the north. So from everywhere there are different kinds of work, and also in terms of artistic practice also there is a wide range of theatre, from folk traditional theatre to ritual to contemporary to modern theatre. So there are many kinds of theatres that you will get to watch. There are also workshops happening with a legendary stage designer from France. He is working with a group of architects and actors to imagine future spaces for theatre, because today we are at the turn of this century, and it's a very transformative time. We are becoming aware of so many things, ecology, the environment, the artificial intelligence. So we are really in a transformative phase in history. So at this point of time, how can we imagine theatre spaces? Because theatres that we have are theatres from the past. If we build theatres now, it has to be for the future. So looking at the future, how do we imagine theatre spaces? So there is a beautiful workshop going on here. There are performance workshops happening. There are performances happening. So in that sense, theatre is very alive and active here in this festival this year. I have come here to perform as an artist. Back in 2018, I had performed theatre at homes, which was part of a curation done by Mr. Atul Kumar. Now this year I am co-curating with Kwasar. So as a curator, yes, this is my first time in this festival. As an artist, second time.
How do you look at the festival? This is the 9th edition. So how do you look at the festival?
It's growing really fast. It's growing really big. I was telling a friend that he was asking a question what do you think the festival will be next year, the 10th year? So I'm thinking like children's babies, they grow up, right? First year they're very small. By the time they're 5 years, they're big. By the time 10, they almost double their size. Yeah, and then by the time they're 18, they become mature and adults. So I think in the 9th year, it's a 9-year-old, tender, strong, young, charming boy, girl, child. Yeah.
So last question to you: what message do you want to give to the audience, the art lovers who are looking forward for this festival?
Yeah, we have to listen carefully. When we listen carefully, we hear more, and when we look carefully, we see more. So it's about how we listen, look carefully. So the other day I was talking to a friend actually where there was a small blackout. So no, it was in the evening, there was no light. But slowly we start to see things. So the dim light is also a means of illuminating. So when we look carefully, we see more. When we listen carefully, we hear more.
सो आयज आमच्या वांगडा आसा गीता चंद्रन, जो जावन आसा डान्स क्युरेटर एट सेरेंडिपिटी आर्ट्स फेस्टिवल. सो तांच्या कडेन उलोवया. हॅलो मॅम.
Hello, hi.
So ma'am, you are here at Serendipity Arts Festival. So what is your experience?
I think it's been a great year. This is my 3rd year at Serendipity as the curator, and I'm very always looking forward to not only my own curation but the curation of the others, because there's such diverse curation here, whether it is theatre, whether it's films, whether it is music, whether it is dance, whether it is popular music in terms of Bollywood, etc. The venues are so exciting because each venue is different. It's not just proscenium, so it's taking art to public spaces as well. So I also look forward to children's theatre and work that's done in the area of children, and the installations have been beautiful. The visual art portion has been very, very successful, and we've had full houses for all my shows, and the artists are extremely happy because this is one of a kind festival. We don't have a festival like this in India where all artists from every discipline, you know, conceivable discipline, from design to architecture to music to dance, theatre, films, everybody comes and everybody has something to take from here.
So, as an artist, what you would like to say? Why this Serendipity Arts Festival is important for artists?
You know, we have festivals dedicated to dance, dedicated to only music, dedicated to only theatre, but we don't have a festival where everything comes together. That's what sets apart Serendipity, and we get the opportunity to experiment. We get the opportunity to, connect the dots in a sense. Like we can do something with dance and theatre, we can do something with cinema and dance. So this, interdisciplinarity of the festival, it's very, very important to the health of art itself, because we've pushed art into silos. This is dance, this is theatre, it's not like that. I think it's all a holistic experience. Everything has its own connections with other art forms, so we explore those connections here at Serendipity.
सो ह्या खासा कार्यावळींतल्यान जे सेरेंडिपिटी आर्ट्स फेस्टिवल आसा ती क्युरेट करपी जे क्युरेटर्स आसा तांचे विचार आमी जाणून घेतले. सगळ्या क्युरेटरां कडेन उलयतना एक मेन गजाल जी लक्षांत आयली ती म्हळ्यार हे सेरेंडिपिटी आर्ट्स फेस्टिवल जे आर्टिस्ट आसा, जे आर्ट्स आसा तांच्या खातीर एक बरो प्लॅटफॉर्म आसा. सो सेरेंडिपिटी आर्ट्स फेस्टिवलाचे अशेच खासा ग्लिम्सीस आमी तुमच्या मुखार घेवन येत रावतली. त्या खातीर पळयत रावात प्रुडंट.